Hello everybody, I'm Bets Golden. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to talk to you about open acrylic. I first learned about open acrylic over on Carolyn Doobie's channel. She uses it quite a bit, and it was until recently that I realized that I needed to use this medium for certain kinds of pulls that I do on my gel plate because they were just drying way too quickly. I live in the desert, and that's a good thing, you know, most of the time when your paint dries fast. But when you want to add in different textures and maybe do different colors on the same pull, it can not be such a good thing. So I went ahead and I ordered a sample set, and this is the set that I did. It's like, this is the modern set. And so there's a yellow, you know, like a red and like a pinkish purple, burgundy, I should say, a blue, a green, and then a white. And I really liked it. So I went back and I picked my palette from there based on these. Like, I knew I had these in my stash. So I picked up a titanium white because you never can have too much white. And then I picked up a oxide green, ultraviolet, ultramarine violet, blue hue, and then a teal. And I stopped there because I'm not a believer in buying one of every color that you may like if you're not going to use it. Or I should say one in every product line if you're not going to use it. Only buy the ones that you will use. And I am a cool palette girl, so this totally resonates with me. I do like yellow as well, but these colors, you know, the blues, the teals, those are my thing. So I thought that I would do a pull with you today. I am only going to be using these acrylics for certain things for this particular kind of project because they are pricey. They're worth it, but they're pricey. So I'm going to do a pull today, show you two different pulls, one with the palette that I created and one with the sample pack palette. And you can see what I'm talking about how beautiful it pulls and how you have time to add texture. And the cool thing is once it dries just like an acrylic. All open means is that you have more workable time on your surface before it does dry, which is super cool. The prices on these are, I get mine from, I believe it's Blinks. I don't know. I have it listed down below. These big ones, depending on the color, are between $7 and $9. And these are the 2 ounces. You can also get 4 ounces. I think that those are about $13. So these are between $7 and $9. For shipping on all 5 of these and tax, I paid $52. So like I said, this is not cheap. And if you know of a good open acrylic that I have more playtime on that is less expensive, can you please post it down below so I can check it out, because all I can say is dang. And then this little sample pack was $35, so not as bad, but these are only 1 ounce, I believe, each of these. So you're definitely, I think these are 1 ounce. They're 3/4 of an ounce, so go figure. So I'm going to just do a couple pulls. The first pull I'll do is with my palette that I created, and I'm going to use this over here to rub off my to brayer off. If that makes any sense. Get my brayer loaded. So I'm just going to start off with some ultramarine first, and I'm using, I believe that's a 2-inch. A 2-inch one. So I'm just gonna lay down some color here, and I have to play with it a little bit to learn about like how much color is needed, but I don't want the typical teardrop bubble in this, so that's why I want to definitely layer it up off the side over here. So I'm just gonna lay that on like so, and then clean off my brayer. And then next up, I'll do this blue hue. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel, I certainly hope that you do so. Make sure you hit that little notification bell as well so you can be notified of when I have new videos coming out. And if you have any questions or comments, please just leave them down below. That one, just gonna kind of get that going in some spots. I have no rhyme or reason to this. Just having some fun. All right, so let me do teal next. Sorry, I can get so lost in this process that I don't talk much. And then I'm gonna do this oxide green. And then I'm just going to take some white, and this is actually going to get blended in with these two colors, probably because I put it off between those two colors. And this time I'm going to take just that down, and I want to lay some white over my stencil just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of fun texture. All right, and then from here, I want to take, and I'll work some of that off there. I'm just going to take some of my bubble wrap, pop that down, and I always work in spots of 3, and then a little bit of this. And what's cool with it is it will redisposition some of that ink elsewhere. And then I'm going to take my just this and just add some lines through. This is just the comb. And now I am ready to do this pull. And hopefully, since this is an open acrylic, it's not entirely dried on here yet. Just giving it a nice rub down, and I like to just clean my brayer off on the back as well. And voila. Pretty freaking cool, huh? I love it. Isn't that awesome? So had I used just a regular acrylic right now, this time of year in the desert, it would have dried completely. But I love that pull. I think that that's beautiful. And I want to take and just, you know, kind of do a mini one over here. So I'll just rub that on through. And then we'll pick up some of this. And this is just kind of a good test just to see, you know, if it really dries or not. And then we will just do that. And I'm going to do this pull as well. Ooh, I like the back too. I'm easy to please. It's like a playtime for me. If I was a kid, this would be like how I would feel if I was spending time with my Barbies or something. It's just so much fun. Okay, let's see here. Oh, that's really cool. So really beautiful pulls on these. And like I said, once they dry, they will totally dry and won't be movable or anything. But it is open. It's an open acrylic. So let's say that I wanted to get the majority of whatever's left over here up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some white titanium, and this works. This is a good rule of thumb for when you have a pull that you may have done and your paint dried too quickly and you didn't get it all up. Just take and put white paint over it. and pull it real quick while it's still wet. You don't need a huge, like a real thick covering on it. It'll come up just fine. In fact, you really don't want a big smooshy covering on it. And this will pull whatever is left, so it's kind of clean for my next pull. I don't want it all clean because that to me is just totally not fun. But it does create a really cool ghost image. And what else is left down here will be great on another pull because it's already dry. So I'm going to use some other colors down. And if it gets re-wet, it's not, since it's an acrylic and it's like a plastic, it's not like that purple will mix with green to make it brown. It'll be just fine. So as long as it's all dry, which obviously it is if I couldn't get it pulled up that time. So let's do this one. And there we go. So really pretty subtle pull on the background. I just love this. I don't even think I'm ever going to buy pattern paper again. All right, so let's do, these were the colors that I created with the sample pack that I did. So again, it was the blue, the ultramarine violet, the teal, this really pretty oxide green, and then this titanium white. So let's go ahead and lay out these 6 colors and do basically the same type deal. This time I'm not going to pay as much attention to if I get the light down first or whatever. I'm just going to roll with it. So this is a really pretty blue. And I'll put this right there. And then next up, let's do a green. And this one is, I can't even say these greens. But anyway, I'm gonna do that green. So we've done those 2. Just gonna pick this up and go over like that. And then next up, I wanna do a yellow. Sure, why not? That makes sense, right? And then we'll do this red. Now we are not respecting our color families on this. So since this is still wet, it's going to be very interesting to me to see if we get mud in some spots. Because like I said, we're not respecting our color family in this at all. So we'll see. Okay. And then last but not least, I want to do this Magneta. This is a pretty one. Or it's like a pink. I can't talk. It's a pinkish purple, and I'm really loving what's going on over there. I think that that's really pretty. So, and I forgot where I put everything, so I'm just going to lay it down here. There. There. So some really fun colors. And now I'm going to take that white that we did. I'm loving this over here too. And I'm just going to brayer some of this out, and then, you know, I'm going to go through and do what I did before. I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to off to the side right there, pick up some more right there, and then off to the side down here. And then let me, this time I'm going to take and just put some comb marks in, some nice big bubble wrap in, little bubble wrap in, and then do my pull from here. And let's see what we get. And then while that's getting set up there, do the same thing here. bubble wrap it. Yeah, I just totally brayered that on because why not? Bubble wrap it. And then take a comb through there and get this one ready to go like so. Okay. That is beautiful. Look at that. Love that color. That's gorgeous. Really pretty. I'm quite surprised that I like that so much because this is just all over the place. And then that one. All right, you guys, I certainly hope that you learned a little bit about open acrylics during this. And again, if you have any suggestions on paints that you use that have a longer open time to work with that don't dry so quickly on the gel plate, please let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, I'm Betsy Golden. Happy crafting.